the power of now and presence. At the heart of Tolle's philosophy is the idea that presence, full awareness of the present moment, liberates us from the mental suffering caused by living in the past or future. He writes, "Realize deeply that the present moment is all you ever have. Make the now the primary focus of your life." Tolle emphasizes that living in the now dissolves anxiety and regret, grounding us in an experience of peace and fulfillment. Transcending the ego. Tolle teaches that the ego is the false sense of self constructed through identification with thoughts, emotions, and external circumstances. This egoic mind traps us in a state of separation, leading to conflict, insecurity, and suffering. Tolle says, the most common ego identifications have to do with possessions, the work you do, social status and recognition, knowledge and education, physical appearance, special abilities, relationships, personal and family history, belief systems, and often nationalistic, racial, religious, and other collective identifications. None of these is you. Awareness of these patterns is the first step to liberation, allowing us to connect with a deeper essence that is free from the ego's grip. The dark night of the soul, a portal to transformation. The dark night of the soul is a concept Eckhart Tolle often refers to in the context of spiritual growth. It describes a period of profound inner turmoil where one's sense of meaning, identity, or purpose disintegrates. This experience often involves deep existential suffering, loss, or confusion, and is marked by feelings of isolation or despair. Tolle explains, the dark night of the soul is a term used to describe what one could call a collapse of a perceived meaning in life. It is an eruption into your life of a deep sense of meaninglessness. Nothing makes sense anymore. There's no purpose to anything. This dark phase is often unavoidable in spiritual evolution, but Tolle views it as an opportunity for profound inner transformation. During the dark night of the soul, the structures of ego and identity begin to fall apart. It's a time of letting go of old beliefs, attachments, and illusions. Though it is painful, this collapse is a necessary step to higher consciousness and a deeper connection with the true self, which lies beyond the superficial constructs of ego. As Tolle puts it, what the caterpillar calls the end of the world, the master calls a butterfly, embracing the shadow for healing and integration. Shadow work is the process of bringing unconscious aspects of the self into the light of awareness. Carl Jung first coined the term shadow, referring to the parts of our psyche we reject, deny, or repress, usually due to societal, familial, or cultural conditioning. These can be aspects of ourselves we deem unworthy, unlovable, or unacceptable, such as anger, fear, jealousy, or trauma. Tolle alludes to this process when he speaks of the importance of facing and transcending our inner darkness. Tolle teaches that healing comes not from avoiding our shadow, but from fully facing it. He says, "Whatever you think the world is withholding from you, you are withholding from the world." This insight reveals that the qualities or emotions we struggle with in others often reflect unacknowledged parts of our own shadow. By bringing these parts into consciousness, we can begin to heal and integrate them, transforming inner conflict into self-acceptance and wholeness. Through shadow work, we allow the suppressed elements of our psyche to be felt, acknowledged, and healed. This process is painful but essential for growth. As Tolle puts it, you do not become good by trying to be good, but by finding the goodness that is already within you and allowing that goodness to emerge. When we face the shadow, we reclaim the lost or rejected parts of ourselves, transforming them into sources of strength, wisdom, and compassion. How the dark night and shadow work lead to higher states of being. The dark night of the soul and shadow work are often intertwined, as both involve confronting the ego's illusions and unconscious patterns. Together, they facilitate a powerful process of inner transformation. The darkness we face in these experiences becomes a gateway to a higher state of being, a state of awakened consciousness that is more grounded in presence, love, and peace. Tolle teaches that pain and suffering are not meaningless. They serve as catalysts for awakening. Suffering has a noble purpose, the evolution of consciousness and the burning up of the ego. The lessons we learn through our hardships, whether it's loss, failure, or emotional pain, help us dissolve the false egoic self and move into alignment with our true nature, which is timeless, unconditioned, and deeply connected with the present moment. In the process of facing the dark night and integrating the shadow, we come to realize that our identity is not our thoughts, emotions, or life circumstances, but the awareness behind them. This is the essence of Tolle's teachings. You are not a human being having a spiritual experience. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. This awakening to our true self brings an end to suffering and opens the door to lasting peace. Eckhart Tolle's teachings guide us through a journey of profound self-transformation. The dark night of the soul and shadow work are integral to this process, helping us face our deepest pain, transcend the ego, and awaken to a higher state of being. By embracing the present moment, accepting our shadow, and surrendering to life as it is, we align ourselves with a state of peace, presence, and spiritual awakening. In every moment, we move towards the highest manifestation of our true authentic self. Let us purify the source field together and manifest heaven on earth. You are the light of the world. Hallelujah! Yahusha HaMoshiach, Shalom Adonai.